I think the reason the cowboy hat has endured is, you know, I guess really it's a symbol of the American West and of freedom. And, you know, you could watch liberal media and hear how much everybody hates America. I sell a...
Great. I see a lot of things talking about the perfect fit. Explain that.
Well, our process is a little bit different than a lot of different hat makers. So we started out in the front, the showroom of the store, but I'd like to show you around the back here. So once we get the order in, we start by cutting the sweatband, and that's where we do this over here. And we use several different colors of sweatbands. It kind of depends on the customer or the order, but we print them. We can print your name on them. Some of the equipment we use is made so we can cut them specific sizes. Otherwise, we'll cut the sweatband right to your head pattern. So all of our hats are all kind of one size fits no one. They come in different colors and different qualities. And once we do that, we'll bring them over here and we'll get ready to start blocking the hats. Now what the blocking does is pushes a block into the crown of the hat so that we could steam it. The steam actually helps lock the fibers together, so that makes what makes a good hat tight and stiff. Okay, so what we do over here, once we pick out the appropriate hat body, and we've had your head measured, or we know what size hat you wear, depending on the style, we'll pick out the appropriate hat block for your hat. Once we do that, we'll get ready to put it in this machine here. This is called a finger blocker, and what this is going to do is push the block of the hat into the crown of the hat body, like this. So once we do that, we'll let it cool. Let it cool in here for 5 to 10 minutes. And once it's cooled and it comes out, you'll now see that the crown of the hat is into the hat body. Like this. So now we have a definite break line from the crown and the brim of the hat. We'll tie this onto the hat block, and once it's cool is when we'll start the sanding process. So what we've done here is we've already blocked the hat, pressed the brim flat, and we've already sanded the crown of this hat. All the nap is going down in one direction, and all the felt has been sanded down, ironed, and lured or re-greased, because it's like hair. You have to put good oil back into it since we've kind of dried it out with our process. And now what we've done is cut the brim, and we're starting to work on the brim here. And that's what Jacob here is doing, is hand sanding the brim of the hat. Once we take it out of the blocker, we need to press that brim flat, and that's what we do here with these sandbag presses. We'll put the hat into a flange, and this helps differentiate the crown from the brim and makes a break line where later we will actually sew the sweatband into the hat. So now that we've blocked and flanged the hat, sanded it, trimmed the brim, we're ready to sew the sweatband in. So the first thing we do is test the sweatband in the hat, make sure everything's fitting up nice. Now the sewing machine we're going to be using is an old Singer. This was built in the late 20s, and you'll see it has a really long neck on it, and that's to allow this to go for the brim to fit into the machine. And now the sweatband is sewn into the hat. After this, we'll take it over to Sharon, where the excess that we cut off of the brim, we actually turn into a self band made out of felt with a buckle on it, and that's normally how we trim the hats. But as always, it's a custom hat. We'll do it however you like. So here's a custom hat that we've just finished up. It's got the self band with a silver buckle. The brim's been cut to 4 inches. The sweatband's been sewn in, and we've actually made a cedar pattern of his head. It's all been lined, natural leather sweatband. His name's been put in the hat. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and crease it to his specifications from when we measured him at the show. And once again, the steam is softening up those fibers or the scales on the hair, and then as it cools off, they'll interact with each other and kind of grab onto each other and get stiff again, and that's what makes a good hat. So really not a whole lot has changed over the course of 100 years. Still done by hand and still loving what we do. So there we go. Fit right to the exact shape of his head, creased up and ready to be shipped out.